What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Boeckle Bros Channel, where we talk all things real estate. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Landon, and today we're going to talk about how to start flipping homes and making money.
So, one thing I want to start with is Landon and I are 5 years in this business. We flipped over 200 homes, so we want to take all that knowledge and deliver it to you guys. And one thing that we want to address right out of the gate is the fact that everyone thinks you need a ton of money, a ton of experience, and a ton of construction knowledge in order to start flipping homes.
And it's just not true.
Not at all. We're here today to tell you that that's not the case. All you need to do is take massive action. So today we're going to tell you a couple steps on how to get you started flipping homes right away.
That's right. Jesse and I started flipping homes in 2016, almost 5 years ago now, over 200 homes in. And guess what? We started with no money in our bank account, no construction experience, and almost no real estate experience either. What we decided to do back in 2016 to get started flipping is take massive action. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about the steps of what it takes to flip your first home. So step one of the most important things before you start flipping real estate is knowing your market and choosing your market that you want to work in.
Very, very, very important. I don't want to over accentuate this, but I don't want to skip over that. You may be in a market that's not perfect for you. You may be in a neighborhood in an area that's not right for you in flipping. So you're getting started off on the wrong foot. So take your time, look at some areas, do a little bit of research, and find somewhere, not necessarily your area, that may be good to start in.
Right. You got to pick and choose where you want to work. You got to be happy with where you want to work. But most of all, the market that you're going to flip real estate in, you got to know that you can make money in it. That's the key to success in this.
That's why we're doing this, right? We don't want to flip a house, get it all the way down to the project, last day, sell it, and make no money.
Step number two, and the second most important thing in flipping homes, is being able to evaluate a deal. If you've never comped a property or you don't know how to evaluate a deal, it's very hard to determine whether you're going to make money or not with it.
Right. One of the most crucial aspects about evaluating a deal is coming up with your purchase price based off what you're doing in this project. There's an age-old saying, we've been told it many times and we've told it many times to other people.
It's all about the buy.
You make your money when you buy.
In the buy.
Plain and simple. Now what that means is if you overpay for something or you underestimate something that you're going to need to do to the house, that purchase price doesn't make sense anymore.
Right.
So everything needs to be lined up, backed in to a correct purchase price so that you know at the end of the day, you're set up to make money.
So after you choose your market and after you learn how to evaluate deals, those are steps 1 and 2. Step 3 is going to be building your team. It takes a very special team to flip real estate. You're going to need a contractor, you're going to need a title company, and you're definitely going to need a realtor to look for homes and to sell your homes.
Right. One thing you need to remember is all of those people that he just listed want you. They all want to know a person like you. So you're doing them a favor. So don't feel like you're begging anyone or you have to ask for something that they aren't comfortable with. They all want to work with you.
Right. The team around you has to know that you're going to put your best foot forward as well. So you got to pay them appropriately. You got to make them happy to work for you. And that's very important. And that's something that we figured out over the years is if you're not paying your team appropriately and they're not happy with the scenario, you're going to have people that start doing things to you that you don't want. Person within the company is going to bring a different skill to the table in order to facilitate a transaction.
Yeah, and there's really only a handful of people that you need. If we go down the list, right, you're going to need, if you're not a realtor, you're probably going to need a realtor. Someone that has access to the MLS and helps you understand the market and the prices of things.
Right, and they're going to help you buy a home, but they're also going to help you list and sell the flip when it's done.
True, so they're kind of like dual use, dual purpose in this project. The second part, I would say, like you said, is the construction. Is the GC, if you're using a GC, or that construction person that's helping you actually do the work to the home. So obviously their value is pretty cut and dry. They're going to bring in all the pricing and materials and knowledge base to do correct renovations to the home.
And the general contractor is also going to help you determine whether you could buy that home or not. When we walk properties,
That's a good point.
the first person we walk a property with is the general contractor. Why? Because we want to make sure that we get a bid from the contractor for the remodel costs before our due diligence is up, before we even have to make a decision on whether we buy the property or not.
Right. We thought we could rehab this house for 20 grand, but our construction manager or our contractor says, no guys, what you want to do to this house can be 40.
Right. That could kill a deal right there. So
Totally.
GC is one of the most important components of your team, and you want to make sure that you find a GC that is super qualified with flipping homes.
Right. One of the last steps, and probably one of the bigger steps that a lot of people, I think, get real nervous about is the financing.
Right.
That's not necessarily the easiest thing if you have no experience and you don't understand where or how this can work, but it doesn't have to be scary.
Right. If you can't find a lender that's going to finance your properties, the terms and the rates and all that, they're very common right now in the market, but you want a lender that could work with you, that could close a property very quickly, that could work with you on documentation and make it a very smooth, easy process in order to get deals purchased.
Right. Keep in mind, these people, if you do a good job, you're probably going to want to do another one.
Right.
And they're going to want to do another one too. So these people become allies. They become part of your team.
And guess what happens when you do enough deals? The money becomes a little bit less expensive because now you become more of a partnership.
True. That's one thing to keep in mind.
And then the last component is going to be your title company. You want to make sure you have a very good relationship with your local title company because they're running most of the transaction for you. They're the people that you're going to lean on to get title reports to make sure there's no liens on the property. And they're going to make sure that all documents and closing documents are signed on time in order for you to close on time.
They're a very big asset, so don't underestimate them.
And they're great for marketing too.
Cool. So on to topic number 4, which would be, all right, we're all ready, we got the team, let's find a deal.
Finding the deal right now is the biggest component. The people who could find the deal are the people who are winning right now.
That's true. Finding a deal is not always easy, and the process changes depending on what kind of market we're in.
Right.
So go ahead.
There's multiple ways to find a deal.
Yeah.
You could find a deal from the MLS using your local realtor. You could find a deal from local wholesalers.
True.
And you could find a deal from your own endeavors, your own direct-to-seller marketing endeavors.
Right, which once you open up that can of worms, you could get into Facebook marketing, you could get into cold calling, you could get into TV commercials, the list goes on.
Right, so you need to have the ability to find a deal. And you can actually build a team around finding the deal as well. Your real estate experts or your local licensed agents, you're going to have them searching the MLS on a daily basis, submitting offers for you each and every day. It's always going to be a numbers game. Our team here at the Boeckle Group submits 10 to 15 offers a day in order to successfully purchase the number of homes on a monthly basis that we want to buy.
And we're doing that, just like I said before, because of the market that we're in. 5 years ago, it was a little bit different. But today, we need to submit a high volume of offers because the actual return on properties that we can purchase from that volume of offers is pretty low. Right. So we have to play the numbers game. We have to get the offers out there in order to keep our machine rolling.
Yeah, and we're going to dive into the deal finding methods and the videos to come because it's so important to you. We're going to talk about how to find MLS deals. We're going to talk about how to reach out to wholesalers and find your local wholesaler experts. And then we're going to really dive into direct-to-seller marketing because that's a whole new monster within itself.
Right. Honestly, each one of these topics that we're going over today, we'll probably do an individual video on and expand it so you can get more in-depth knowledge on it.
Cool. So once you identify the market, once you know how to comp a deal, you build your team up, they're out finding deals for you. Now we're going to buy the house.
Let's buy one.
Let's do it. So step 5, buying the home.
So you've decided what home you're buying, you've actually gone through and purchasing it. Now we're going to start and work on the home. We're going to start the construction.
We close escrow, money gets funded, now you own your first flip property. It's a big deal. Congratulations if you could get that far.
Yeah, you might feel a little bit nervous. That's a good thing.
So after the buy, you immediately want your contractor to get in there and start construction. Step 6 is going to be the construction phase.
Right. So now you went from real estate investor to construction manager. And so that means you need to make sure that everyone involved in the rehab of that project is on time, is on budget, is showing up to the job.
We started out, we're at the properties, 6 to 8 hours a day, 6-7 days a week. It's a full-time job being a construction manager.
And honestly, there's a lot of mistakes that you can make on your first flip by getting too involved.
Right. This is why finding the right general contractor is such an important step within the beginning phases of the process. Because if you find that right general contractor, you have to babysit a lot less. You don't want to have to babysit each job, because if you don't know what's going on with construction and materials, it could really turn into a disaster.
It's just such a foreign thing. Like, you're already doing enough. Why worry about any more?
Right.
But I remember our first flip, we decided, let's go in there and do some stuff ourselves. One, we'll save costs and we'll get it done quicker. So Landon and I are in there changing light switches for like 6 or 7 hours throughout this whole home, hanging fans.
Trying to save nickels here and nickels there. And at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Your time is best spent on finding new deals. Let the contractors do their job.
Yeah, they're the professionals. So let's take it from the top. You've found a house, you've built a team, you've purchased a property, you've renovated the property. It's time to sell it and make money.
That's if all goes well.
Right. Sometimes it doesn't. And honestly, I want to tell you guys about one of the times where it did not go super well for us. So we have another video coming out on how we lost how much?
$60,000 from a general contractor making some big mistakes.
Let me tell you, it's not fun when you get to the finish line of a project and you have no money on the table for yourself and you put in all that time and effort. So that's why we're here, giving you a step-by-step process of items to follow to ensure your success in your first flip. It's not all like HGTV. It's not all easy and simple.
Right, the reality behind it is it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to get through these steps. But you know what? If you just start today and you take the massive action and put in the determination to get through them, you're going to be just fine. And we're here to help you along the way. Thank you for tuning in today, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw.
Yes, guys, and if you have any questions or need any clarification on anything we talked about today, please feel free to comment below and we will do our best to get back to you.
We'll see you on the flip side.